oh dear, I should be too late.
Oh?
Oh, ears and whiskers, how late it's getting.
Wait, can you tell me where I am? Wait for me.
Locked. Locked.
Locked. Oh, locked. How will I ever get out again?
Look at me. I'm a tiny golden key.
A key. It might belong to one of the doors.
Oh, she's a smart one.
Wish I'd thought of that.
What a clever ducky she is. No.
Gotta.
Nope. No. The key is too large or the locks are too small.
Look at me, look at me. I might fit the golden key.
Another door. I didn't see that one before. It fits. Oh, it's the loveliest garden I ever saw. Beds of bright flowers and cool fountains. Oh, I can't even get my head through the doorway. And even if I could, it would be very little use without my shoulders. Oh, how I wish I could shut up like a telescope.
Drink me.
What's that?
Drink me.
It's all very well to say drink me. I'm not going to do that in a hurry. No. I'll look first and see whether it's marked poison or not. If you drink too much from a bottle marked poison, it's almost certain to disagree with you sooner or later.
Drink me.
However, this bottle is not marked poison. Oh, how nice. Cherry tart, custard, pineapple, roast turkey, toffee, and hot buttered toast. What a curious feeling. I must be shutting up like a telescope. Now I can go into that garden.
Look at me. I am a little golden key.
I forgot the key. Come, there's no use in crying like that. I advise you to leave off this minute.
Eat me.
It's a very curious place.
Eat me.
Well, I'll eat it, and if it makes me grow larger, then I can reach the key, and if it makes me grow smaller, then I can creep under the door. So either way, I'll get into the garden, and I don't care which. Curiouser and curiouser. Now I'm opening out like the largest telescope that ever was. Oh, goodbye, feet. Oh, my poor little feet. I wonder who will put on your shoes and stockings for you now, dears. I shan't be able. I shall be a great deal too far off to trouble myself about you. You must manage the best way you can. Oh, dear, what nonsense I'm talking.
The Duchess. She'd be savage if I kept her waiting.
If you please, sir.
Ah!
I wonder if I've been changed in the night. But I'm not the same. The next question is, who in the world am I? I'm sure I'm not Ada, for her hair grows in such long ringlets, and mine doesn't grow in ringlets at all. And I'm sure I can't be Mabel, for I know all sorts of things, and she knows very little. Besides, she is she, and I'm I, and I'll try to see if I know all the things I used to know. Let's see. 4 times 5 is 12, and 4 times 6 is 13, and 4 times 7 is... I shall never get to 20 at this rate. Let's try geography. London is the capital of Paris, and Paris is the capital of Rome, and Rome... No, that's all wrong, I'm certain. I must have been changed for Mabel. I put on one of these gloves. How can I have done that? I must be growing small again. It was a narrow escape. And now for the garden. My goodness, what a large mushroom.
Who are you?
I hardly know, sir, just at present. At least I know who I was when I got up this morning, but I must have changed several times since then.
What do you mean? Explain yourself.
I can't explain myself, I'm afraid, sir, because I'm not myself, you see.
I don't see.
I'm afraid I can't put it any more clearly, for I can't understand it myself to begin with. Being so many different sizes in a day is quite confusing, you know.
Who are you?
I think you ought to tell me who you are first.
Why? Come back. I have something important to say. Keep your temper.
Is that all?
No, so you think you've changed, do you?
I'm afraid I am, sir. I can't remember things as I used, and I don't keep the same size for more than 10 minutes together.
What size do you want to be?
Oh, I'm not particular as to size. Only one doesn't like changing so often, you know.
Are you content now?
Well, I should like to be a little larger, sir, if you wouldn't mind. 3 inches is such a wretched height to be.
It is a very good height indeed.
But I'm not used to it.
One side will make you grow taller, and the other side will make you grow shorter.
One side of what? The other side of what?
Of the mushroom.
I don't know which is which. Whoa!
Serpent!
I'm not a serpent. Let me alone.
Serpent, I say again!
I haven't the least idea what you're talking about.
As if it wasn't trouble enough hatching the eggs, but I must be on the lookout for serpents night and day. I haven't had a wink of sleep these past 3 nights.
I'm sorry you've been annoyed.
And just as I take him to the highest tree in the wood, and just as I was thinking I should be free from them at last, they must come ringling down from the sky, serpent.
I'm not a serpent. I tell you, I'm a
Well, what are you? I can see you're trying to invent something.
I'm a little girl.
A likely story. I've seen a good many little girls in my time, but never one with such a neck as yours. No, no. You're a servant and there's no use denying it. I suppose you'll be telling me that you've never tasted an egg.
I have, but little girls eat eggs quite as much as serpents, you know.
I don't believe it. You're looking for eggs, and what does it matter to me whether you're a little girl or a serpent?
It matters a good deal to me, but I'm not looking for eggs, and if I was, I shouldn't want yours. I don't like them raw.
Well, be off with you then.
Ah!
The mushroom.
The mushroom, I almost forgot. I've got back to my right size. The next thing is how to get into that beautiful garden. How is that to be done, I wonder?
For the Duchess, an invitation from the Queen to play croquet. From the Queen, an invitation for the Duchess to play croquet.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. There's no sort of use in knocking, and that is for 2 reasons. First, because I'm on the same side of the door as you are. Secondly, because it's making such a noise inside that no one could possibly hear you.
How am I to get in?
There might be some sense in your knocking. If we had the door between us, for instance, if you were inside, you might knock, and I could let you out, you know.
How am I to get in?
I shall sit here till tomorrow or next day, maybe. I shall sit here, on and off, for days and days.
But how am I to get in? What am I to do?
Anything you'd like.
Wow.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Please, would you tell me why your cat grins like that?
It's a Cheshire cat, and that's why, pig.
Pig.
I didn't know Cheshire cats always grinned. In fact, I didn't know cats could grin.
They all can, and most of them do.
I didn't know any that do.
You don't know much, and that's a fact.
Oh, please mind what you're doing.
If everybody minded their own business, the world would go round a deal faster than it does. Speak roughly to your little boy and beat him when he sneezes. He only does it to annoy because he knows it teases.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow.
I speak severely to my boy. I beat him when he sneezes, for he can thoroughly enjoy the pepper when he pleases.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Here, you may nurse it for a bit if you like. I must go get ready to play croquet with the Queen.
If I don't take the child away with me, they're sure to kill it in a day or two. Are we not doing the sound effects? No? Okay. Don't grunt. That's not at all a proper way of expressing yourself. If you're going to turn into a pig, my dear, I'll have nothing more to do with you. Cheshire Puss, would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here?
That depends.
A good deal on where.
You want to go get to
I don't much care where,
Then,
It doesn't matter.
which,
where you go.
so long as I get somewhere.
Oh, you're sure to do
that,
If you only walk.
long enough.
What sort of people live about here?
In that direction lives the Hatter.
And in that direction lives a March hare.
Visit either you like.
They're both mad.
But I don't want to go among mad people.
Oh,
You,
can't help that. We're all mad here.
I'm mad.
you're mad.
How do you know I'm mad?
You must be.
Or,
You wouldn't.
have come here.
Do you play?
Croquet.
With the Queen today?
Oh, I should like very much, but I haven't been invited yet.
You'll see me there. By the by,
What?
Became of the baby.
I
Nearly forgotten to ask.
It turned into a pig.
thought it would.
I've seen hatters before. The March hare will be the most interesting. And perhaps this is May and won't be raving mad. At least, not so mad as it was in March.
Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at.
No
No room, no room, no room.
No room. There's plenty of room. Have some wine. I don't see any wine.
There isn't any.
Then it wasn't very civil of you to offer any.
It wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited.
I didn't know it was your table. It's laid out for a great many more than 3.
Your hair wants cutting.
You should learn not to make personal remarks. It's very rude.
Why is a raven like a writing desk?
I believe I can guess that.
Do you mean that you think you can find out the answer to it?
Exactly so.
Then you should say what it means.
I do, at least, I mean what I say. That's the same thing, you know.
Not the same thing a bit. You might as well say that I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see.
You might as well say that I like what I get is the same thing as I get what I like.
You might just as well say that I breathe when I sleep is the same thing as I sleep when I breathe.
It is the same thing to you. Wait, what day of the month is it?
The 4th.
2 days wrong. I told you butter wouldn't suit the works.
It was the best butter.
Yes, but some crumbs must have gotten as well. You should have put it in with the bread knife.
It was the best butter, you know.
What a funny watch. It tells the day of the month and it doesn't tell what o'clock it is.
Why should it? Does your watch tell you what year it is?
Of course not, but that's because it stays the same year for such a long time together.
Which is just the case with mine.
I don't quite understand you.
The dormouse is asleep again.
Of course, just what I was going to remark myself.
Have you guessed the riddle yet?
No, I give up. What's the answer?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Nor I.
I think you might do something better with the time than waste it in asking riddles that have no answers.
If you knew time as well as I do, you wouldn't talk about wasting it. It's a hymn.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course you don't. I dare say you never even spoke to time.
Perhaps not, but I know I have to beat time when I learn music.
Ah, that accounts for it. He won't stand a beating. Now, if you only kept on good terms with him, he'd almost do anything you'd like with the clock. For instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock in the morning, just time to begin lessons. You'd only have to whisper a hint to time, and round goes the clock in a twinkling. 1:30, time for dinner.
I only wish it was.
That would be grand, certainly, but then I shouldn't be hungry for it, you know.
Not at first, perhaps, but you could keep it to 1:30 as long as you liked.
Is that the way you manage?
Not I. We quarreled last March, just before he went mad. You know, it was at the great concert given by the Queen of Hearts, and I had to sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Bat, How I Wonder Where You're At. You know the song, perhaps?
I know something like it.
It goes on, you know, in this way. Up above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky, twinkle, twinkle.
Twinkle, 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 twinkle.
Well, I'd hardly finished the first verse when the Queen jumped up and bawled out, "He's murdering the time! Off with his head!"
How dreadfully savage.
And ever since that, he won't do a thing I ask. It's always 6 o'clock now.
Is that the reason so many TVs are put out here?
It's always tea time, and we've no time to watch the things between whiles.
Then you keep moving around, I suppose?
Exactly so, as things get used up.
I vote the young lady tells us a story.
I'm afraid I don't know one.
Then the dormouse shall. Wake up, dormouse.
I wasn't asleep. I heard everything you fellows were saying.
Tell us a story.
Yes, please do.
And be quick about it, or you'll be asleep again before it's done.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little sisters, and their names were Elsie, Tracy, and Lily. And they lived at the bottom of a well.
What did they live on?
They lived on treacle.
They couldn't have done that, you know. They'd been ill.
So they were very ill.
But why did they live at the bottom of a well?
Time for more tea.
I've had nothing yet, so I can't take any more.
You mean you can't take less? It's very easy to take more than nothing.
Nobody asked your opinion.
Who's making personal remarks now?
Why did they live at the bottom of a well?
It was a treacle well.
There's no such thing.
If you can't be civil, you better finish the story for yourself.
No, please go on. I won't interrupt again.
I want a clean cup. Let's all move one place on.
This is the stupidest tea party I ever was at in all my life.
Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at.
Look out now, Five. Don't go splashing paint all over me like that.
I couldn't help it. 7 jogged my elbow.
That's right, 5. Always lay the blame on others.
You'd better not talk. I heard the Queen say only yesterday you deserve to be beheaded.
What for?
That's none of your business, too.
Yes, it is his business. And I'll tell them I was bringing the cook tulip roots instead of onions.
All the unjust things.
Would you tell me why you're painting these roses? What are you doing?
Oh my goodness gracious.
I just lost a year of my life. Nearly became a 4.
Why, the fact you see, miss, this here ought to have been a red rose tree, but we put a white one in by mistake. And if the queen was to find out, she should have our heads cut off, you know? So you see, miss, we're doing her best.
Red alert! Red alert! The queen! The queen!
Who is this? Idiots. What's your name, child?
My name is Alice, so please, Your Majesty.
And who are these?
How should I know? That's no business of mine.
Off with her head.
Nonsense.
Consider, my dear, she is only a child.
Can you play croquet?
Yes.
Come on then.
This is flamingo, and the balls are hedgehogs.
Of course they are. How else would we play?
Off with her head.
Oh,
It's a very fine day.
very. Where's the Duchess?
Hush, hush. She's under sentence of execution.
What for?
Did you say what a pity?
No, I didn't. I don't think it's at all a pity. I said what for?
Shh, she boxed the queen's ears. Oh, hush, the queen will hear you.
Get to your place. Off with his head. Off with her head.
Dreadfully fond of beheading people here. The great wonder is there's anyone left alive. Lights.
How?
Are you?
Getting?
I don't think they play at all fairly, and they seem to have no rules in particular. At least, if there are, nobody attends to them. How do you like?
The queen.
Not at all. She's so extremely likely to win that it's hardly worthwhile finishing the game.
The trial's about to begin.
The trial! The trial!
Harold, read the accusation.
The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts, all on a summer day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole those tarts and took them quite away.
Consider your verdict.
Not yet, not yet. There's a great deal to come before us.
Call the first witness. First witness!
I beg pardon, Your Majesty, for bringing these in, but I hadn't quite finished my tea when I was sent for.
You ought to have finished. When did you begin?
14th of March, I think it was.
15th.
16th.
Write that down. Take off your hat.
It isn't mine.
Stolen?
I keep them to sell. I've none of my own. I'm a hatter.
Give your evidence, and don't be nervous, or I'll have you executed on the spot.
I'm a poor man, Your Majesty, and I hadn't begun my tea, not above a week or so, and what with the bread and butter getting so thin, and the twinkling of the tea,
The twinkling of the what?
it began with the tea.
Of course, twinkling begins with a T. Do you take me for a dunce? Go on.
I'm a poor man, and most things twinkled after that. Only the March hare said, I didn't.
I deny it. Leave out that part.
Well, at any rate, the dormouse said, Twinkle.
Write that down.
After that, I cooked some more bread and butter. I'm a poor man, Your Majesty.
You are a very poor speaker.
That's all you know about it. You may stand down.
I can't go no lower. I'm on the floor as it is.
Then you may sit down.
I'd rather finish my tea.
Call the next witness.
Call the next witness.
Call the next witness. Really, my dear, you must cross-examine the next witness. It quite makes my forehead ache.
Well, I'm very curious to see what the next witness will be like, for they haven't got much of anything yet.
The next witness is Alice.
Here.
What do you know about this business?
Nothing.
Nothing whatever?
Nothing whatever.
That's very important.
Unimportant, Your Majesty means, of course.
Unimportant, I mean, of course. I meant important, unimportant, unimportant, important. Silence. Rule 42, all persons more than a mile high must leave the court.
I'm not a mile high.
You are.
Nearly 2 miles high.
Well, I shan't go at any rate. Besides, that's not a regular rule you invented just now.
It's the oldest rule in the book.
Then it ought to be number 1.
Consider your verdict.
There's more evidence to come yet. Please, Your Majesty, this paper has just been picked up.
What's in it?
I haven't opened it yet, but it seems to be a letter written by the prisoner to somebody.
Must have been that, unless it was written to nobody, which isn't very usual, you know.
It isn't a letter after all. It's a set of verses.
Are they in the prisoner's handwriting?
No, they're not.
He must have imitated somebody else's hand.
Please, Your Majesty, I didn't write it, and they can't prove I did. There's no name sign at the end.
If you didn't sign it, that only makes the matter worse. You must have meant some mischief, or else you'd have signed your name like an honest man.
Clever, very clever.
Oh, isn't he the cleverest thing you ever saw?
That proves his guilt.
It proves nothing of the sort. Why, you don't even know what they're about.
Read them.
Where shall I begin, Your Majesty?
Begin at the beginning, and then go on till you come to the end. Then stop.
They told me you had been to her and mentioned me to him. She gave me a good character, but said I could not swim. He sent them word I had not gone, and we know it to be true. If she should push the matter on, what would become of you? My notion was that you had been, before she had this fit, an obstacle that came between him, ourselves, and it.
That's the most important piece of evidence we've heard yet.
If any one of them can explain it, I don't believe there's an atom of meaning behind it.
She doesn't believe there's an atom of meaning in it.
If there's no meaning in it, that saves a world of trouble. You know, as we need to try to find any. Let the jury consider their verdict.
No, no. Sentence first, verdict afterwards.
Stuff and nonsense, the idea of having this sentence first.
Hold your tongue.
I won't.
Off with her head.
Who cares for you? You're nothing but a pack of cards.
Off with her head.
You're nothing but a pack of cards.
Off with their head!
You're nothing but a pack of cards.
Off with their head!
So it was just a dream after all.
Okay. That one's okay. That one's okay. It's fine. Everyone's
Turn the lights back on.
Oh yeah, we got a bow? Okay.
Don't stop it.
In a row, in a line. In a row.
Oh,
Get some levels. Let's get some levels.
All right, Asher, you are out of
Sorry,
frame.
Mom.
Asher, you are out of frame.
Oh yeah, we gotta hold hands. I forgot about that.
We gotta hold hands.
Unless you don't want to.
Give me a hood.
And look at your toes.